Mark Denholm
at Breakfast Podcast.
Hello and welcome to episode 239 of the best bits of the Atom Radio Breakfast Show. And this is Mark Denholm from the Breakfast Show, and welcome to the podcast. Here we are, harvesting the best bits. This week we've kind of said goodbye to summer, haven't we? We had that late summer and now it's very, very autumnal, not so good at all. Got to make do though, haven't you? You know, you can't really complain. It's almost the middle of October now. On the way in the podcast this week, we've got car booting without a car or a car boot. The top 5 of things you don't want to lose. We spoke about Prime Day. We discovered a material girl. Things you should never run out of. Creating your own social media problem. And what would aliens learn from you? All that and more on the way in this week's podcast.
Mark Denholm
at Breakfast Podcast.
19 minutes to 8 o'clock. Mark Denholm at Breakfast on Atom Radio. Morning, and welcome to Monday. I think Rachel's email does highlight the whole thing about a car boot sale, isn't it? Nobody ever pays the sticker price at a car boot sale. You're always after a deal, aren't you? You know, you've got something advertised at a car boot sale for a tenner and someone says, you take £2.50. Just the way it is at the car boot sale, is it not?
This is Mark Denholm
at Breakfast.
Atom Radio.
Atom Radio, morning, 8:22. It is Monday 9th of October, in case you're wondering. And it is Mark Denholm streaming from Slough and banging out the anthems. That's what we do, it's what we're known for. Today, we're talking about car boot sales because a lady loaded up 3 laundry bags full of clothes into an Uber, got them dropped off with her at a car boot sale. She then went on without even having a car, ergo without having a car boot, to make over 1,400 quid selling her old clothes out of these 3 laundry bags. £1,423 she made, having said that she first started off trying to sell them on Vinted and Depop. They didn't shift, so she took them to the car boot sale without a car and sold them for over 1,400 quid. Today I want to know, what would you sell at a car boot sale if you could? And morning, Malcolm. For Malcolm, read Derek Trotter. I love this, Malcolm. I think this is great. Malcolm says, when I was younger, me and my brother used to borrow Dad's van at the weekend, and we do house clearances, and the valuable stuff like, you know, appliances and that, we'd knock out for either scrap if they weren't working, or we'd knock them out second hand. But then all the bric-a-brac and stuff we collected, we would sell at the car boot sale. And we used to make a nice little sum out of that. I'm just thinking here, do you know what? Rather than the van, what you needed was a little yellow 3-wheeler. Then you would most definitely have been in business with your Del Boy wagon.
Mark Denholm
at Breakfast Podcast.
6:12 morning then, Mark Denholm on Atom Radio. On TikTok, a poshness index has been done by a TikToker. And this goes from actual aristocrat down to well-spoken. So you've got actual aristocrat at the top. That's the absolute poshest. Family seat, old money, daddy's money, successful parents, and well-spoken on this list that this guy's done. And he's taken you through it, giving examples of each of them. Rufus Rice, his name is. And I'm thinking, you've got to be fairly posh to be called Rufus, though, haven't you? I know quite a few people. I don't know anyone that's called Rufus. No. Although a friend of mine, and she's not posh, she did once suggest when I got a kitten that we should call the kitten Rufus. That was her suggestion for the name for my kitten. But then she's not posh. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I've got that wrong.
Mark Denholm
at Breakfast.
This is Atom Radio.
The top 5 then from your emails this week of things you would not want to lose other than money in the event of a relationship breakdown. At number 5, your beauty products. At number 4, a football programme collection. At number 3, a record collection. At number 2, our dog. And the top thing that you wouldn't want to lose in the event of a relationship breakdown, and it's not even losing it, it's just having it deleted, is the photos, if you get what I mean. And I do.
Mark Denholm
at Breakfast Podcast.
Amazon Prime Day yesterday and again today. People going crazy over an air fryer reduced to just $159.99, a discount of £60 yesterday on Amazon Prime Day. The thing I've noticed with Amazon Prime Day and with Black Friday as well is, like, I know what I want to get. and I look out for deals. And yet I think, do you know what? No, I don't really want a £300 toothbrush for £250. And that's what it's all about. It's about flogging stuff that nobody wants to buy.
Mark Denholm at breakfast.
This is Atom Radio.
This day in 1986, Madonna was number one with True Blue, the title track from her album, and it was her third UK number one. Madonna was in the news yesterday. A US a plastic surgeon expert has analysed Madonna and showed all the telltale signs that Madonna has had work done now that she's 65, and they got a picture of young Madonna and 65-year-old Madonna, and I have to say she did look better. If we're going to be entirely honest with each other here, she did look better in the olden times photo. You know, I'm just saying, I think she would have been one of these people that would have been quite an attractive lady if she'd just grown old gracefully, but no. That said though, right, I'll tell you now, I mean, if I could get away with it, I would have quite happily had some anti-aging stuff done, but no point now. Too little, too late. It wouldn't really be worth it, would it?
This is Mark Denholm
At breakfast.
Atom Radio.
Today, I want to know what is something that you should never run out of, because, well, I nearly ran out of deodorant. I'd totally forgotten I needed some, and I went to the shop yesterday and I happened to be walking down the aisle, and out the corner of my eye I caught the deodorant. I thought, oh, must grab some of that. And it's not something that I would have wanted to run out of at all, because no matter how good your personal hygiene is, if you wash very well every day, you're still going to sweat in that, so therefore you want some antiperspirant, do you not? I want to know today, what is something that you should never run out of, and it's on air at atomradio.co.uk. We'll start for Wednesday with Tony, and morning to you, Tony. I hope your day is off to a good start. Tony says, coffee, how else is a girl supposed to start the day? And I mean, I don't drink coffee, Tony, but I can understand exactly what you're saying. I do like coffee cake and I like coffee cream sweets and that, but I don't drink coffee. But I do understand what you're saying, because I do like to have, when I first get up in the morning, I do like to have a cup of tea. And that, do you know what? That used to be the start to my day. I mean, this is nothing, to be proud of. But I used to wake up first thing in the morning and I'd have my cigarettes. I've not smoked for over a year, but I'd have my cigarettes next to the bed and a lighter, and I'd wake up in the morning and I'd spark a cigarette, and then once I got up out of bed, having smoked the cigarette, I'd go downstairs and I'd make a cup of tea. And I know that that's nothing really to be proud of, if I'm honest, and smoking isn't good for you, but no, that was me. Very, very bad. But yeah, I agree. All right, I'll give you coffee, and mine would be tea. Morning, Graham, and happy Wednesday to you, my friend. Graham says, the one thing you should surely never ever run out of is toilet roll, and we've all been there when we were kids, and we've had to shout down to our parents to throw up some toilet roll when we've run out. But imagine then when you're an adult and there's nobody there, or worse still, when you've run out in the entire house and it's too late and you've already been, and then you notice, oh no.
Mark Denholm.
At breakfast. Podcast.
If you're feeling a bit under the weather, it could be because you haven't bitten your nails enough. People who bite their nails do tend to have a stronger immune system, although they don't have as nice looking hands though, do they, as people that don't.
Mark Denholm.
At breakfast.
This is Atom Radio.
Atom Radio, morning. It is Thursday. It's Mark Denholm at breakfast, and welcome to day 4 out of 5 on the journey to the weekend. And I hope that I find you well today. I hope Thursday is off to a good start, and I hope you are looking forward to something positive. I'm one of these people. I absolutely have to have something to look forward to. If I've got something to look forward to, then I'm okay. If I haven't, then I just get, my mind drifts if I haven't. My mind drifts, and I end up thinking, why can't there be something exciting on the way? And that's when things get out of control, really. And I tend to buy something I don't need just to excite myself.
Mark Denholm.
At breakfast. Podcast.
Morning then, 14 minutes to 7 o'clock. It is Mark Denholm, streaming from Slough and loud across the net on Atom Radio. Greg James and Prince William are having a bit of mock banter, I believe, after the Prince called Greg James an average DJ. That's going to knock any DJ or radio presenter for sure.
Mark Denholm at breakfast.
This is Atom Radio.
Morning then, Mark Denholm at breakfast on Atom Radio. It's 22 minutes to 8 o'clock. Kesha, the 36-year-old, is turning to the world of online dating following her breakup with an unnamed partner, and has spoken frankly about her newly single status. Her full name, Kesha Ray Serbert, called on sugar daddies among her 3 million Twitter followers to drop her a direct message. I've got a feeling she's going to regret that, if I'm honest. And I know now, unless you pay for X Premium, as it's now called, or Twitter Blue, as it was before, I know there are limits on the number of DMs that you can send. I just have a sneaky suspicion that she's going to regret actually asking among her 3 million followers for DMs from potential sugar daddies. Heaven help her DMs.
This is Mark Denholm
At breakfast.
Atom Radio.
Morning and happy joy. Welcome to Friday. It's Mark Denholm at breakfast, streaming from Slough and loud across the net, banging out the anthems, and they continue with Richard Marks on the way next. First, though, I will finally get your emails today. I feel quite bad having asked you a question and made you wait so long to answer it. But today I want to know, following a conversation I had last night about aliens, and I don't know that I believe or not, show me an alien and I will believe. Same as show me a ghost and I will believe. But my question today, if aliens came to Earth to study humanity, what would they learn from you? On air at atomradio.co.uk. All right, now they're not going to get much out of me. Therefore, I want to know, what will they learn from you? We'll start with Mel. Morning to you, Mel. On air at atomradio.co.uk is what Mel emailed, and you can too. Mel says, I think that we would confuse aliens as an entire species. I don't really think we've done that well for ourselves. Like, for example, we go out to work 5 days a week in exchange for having only 2 off. We work hard to be able to afford to buy or rent a house. However, we have to spend most of our time away from the house that we work hard to be able to afford in order to be able to afford it. I don't really think aliens would be very impressed with how organised we are. Now, when you put it like that, Mel, yeah, that doesn't really make any sense, does it? We've not got the work-life balance right at all, have we, in that case? We work 5 days and we get 2 days off, and we work hard to afford a house that we don't spend much time in because we're working to afford it. But there you are.
Mark Denholm.
At breakfast. Podcast.
You know what? That is so true, isn't it? When you look at life, you get a job and you work really hard to be able to afford somewhere to live, but you can't spend that much time there because you're out working to afford keeping the roof over your head. Now that is quite strange, but then look at this as well and think about this. You get a job maybe at the age of 16, or not now, at the age of 18 when you leave school, let's say, and you work until you're 68, 70 or whatever, and you give the best years of your life to work, so you can then afford to be retired for what, 4, 5, 10 years? It's not very much, is it? The work-life balance, if aliens came here to observe that, it's not really very impressive, is it, at all? And we should work on it, really, but I don't think that we can. Not with the cost of living crisis and the cost of borrowing crisis going on. Thank you, as always, for checking out episode 239 of the podcast. There'll be another one along in a week's time. Don't forget you can check out the show Monday to Friday, 6 till 10 on atomradio.co.uk, on the online Radio Box app, on TuneIn, and also, of course, on Streamer. If you've got a smart speaker, play Atom Radio on TuneIn, and it will. And you can always connect your mobile phone up to your car's Bluetooth, and you can listen on the move. Don't forget, of course, once you've done all that, or even before you do all that, subscribe to this here podcast, and then you'll get notified next week when 240 drops.
Mark Denholm.
At breakfast. Podcast.